You say it once, you say it again. Then you make sure to say it just one more time. And somehow, the more words you use, the more trapped you feel. Because at some point, you're not trying to be clear, you're trying to prove you're not the problem. Today, we're going to talk about why you can't stop over-explaining yourself and what you can do to fix it. The pattern I'm describing is called over-explaining. This is when someone keeps defending, clarifying, apologizing, or justifying themselves long after the conversation is already over. It can look like communication, but underneath it's protection. Because you're not just trying to be heard, you're trying to make the emotional threat go away. And for some people, being misunderstood feels dangerous. It can feel like conflict, rejection, punishment, or being blamed for something that you didn't do. So, your body learned a rule. If I explain it one more time, I'll be safe. But more words don't always make you feel safer. Sometimes those extra words can pull you deeper into the loop. Now, let's see how this looks in real life. You sent a simple message to a friend. I can't make it tonight. That's all you said. A simple reply. Wow, it must be nice not to care. And immediately, your body reacts. Chest tightens, stomach drops. And before you can even think, you've already started typing. But I do care. I just had a long day. I'm not trying to be selfish. I really didn't mean it like that. And on and on and on it goes. This simple message turned into a paragraph. Then two. Now, you're explaining your schedule, your tone, your intentions. Shoot, you're explaining your entire character. The more you explain, the worse it feels. Because you're not explaining just why you can't go with them anymore. You're trying to prove to them and to yourself that you're not a bad person. And this is the exact loop that we need to break. The explanation is no longer clarity. It's about escaping the feeling of being a bad person. Now, for real world example number two. You're in a conversation, let's say with a friend, and the whole thing turns into a trial. You tell the person what you meant. They tell you what they think you meant. Then you have to explain it all over again. But then they pull out a sentence just to use it against you. Now, you're reaching for proof. The timeline, the details, the exact words I used, the reason you said it that way. And before long, you're not even talking about the original problem. You're defending your intentions. Maybe if I say it better, or explain it slower, or show them exactly what happened. Every answer turns into an accusation. And another explanation just gives them something else to challenge. And by now, you're exhausted. Not because you failed to explain yourself, but because the conversation was no longer about understanding, because you made it about your own character flaws. Now, let's talk about how to fix it. This type of problem doesn't get fixed by finding the perfect sentence, and it definitely doesn't get fixed by winning every argument. And the goal here is not to stop explaining altogether. The goal is to notice when your explaining turns into defending. So here are 3 steps to help you to keep from getting pulled into the explaining loop. Step 1, notice when clarifying turns into defending. When you notice the cycle starting to happen, ask yourself this. Am I giving necessary information, or am I trying to prove that I'm not the problem? A healthy clarification has a point. You answer the question, you explain what it meant, then it ends. But defending keeps going. More details, more proof, more apologies. Not because the other person needs more information, but because you're stuck in a cycle of explaining yourself over and over again to keep from feeling inadequate. So, this week, when you feel yourself starting to add more information than is actually needed, pause and come back to this question. Am I giving necessary information, or trying to prove that I'm not the problem? Step number 2, stop giving more material to a moving target. Some conversations don't just stay in one place. You answer one accusation, another one shows up. You explain what you meant, now they move to your tone. You explain your tone, now they move to your intentions. That is a moving target. And the more material you give it, the more places that it has to go. The timeline, the tone, the wording, the intentions, the one sentence that they pulled out. Now, you're not solving the original problem anymore. You're feeding the loop. This week, when you notice the target keeps moving, stop giving it material. Come back to one steady line. I already explained what I meant. The goal is not to shut the other person down. The goal is to stop handing the loop more places to go. Step 3, use an exit phrase. If you know that you tend to over-explain, have an exit phrase ready before the conversation ever begins. Once your body feels accused, it's hard for you to think about what you're going to say. So, make the exit phrase simple. I already explained what I meant. I'm not going to defend that anymore. We can talk when you want to be respectful. I understand your point, but I'm not going to argue my intentions. Short doesn't mean rude, and clear doesn't mean cold, but it does mean you know when the conversation is no longer clarifying the topic. So this week, pick one phrase before you ever need it. Then, when the over-explaining loop starts, say it once, make it clear, then stop feeding the conversation. Today's one key takeaway is this: the right words will not fix a conversation that is no longer about understanding. Over-explaining can feel like communication, but underneath, you're trying to escape the feeling that you're the problem. You don't have to prove your entire character every time someone misunderstands you. Healing starts when you realize you're allowed to stop explaining. And that is what breaks the loop. If this video gave you language for something you've been feeling but could not explain, please drop a comment in the section below. Let me know. What feelings are you trying to escape when you get caught in that over-explaining loop? And if you like this type of content, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of my upcoming videos. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one, and I hope you have a great day.